Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something really interesting. Childhood, nature's flexible blueprint.
Yeah, it's this idea that being, immature isn't just a phase, it's actually a powerful tool.
Exactly. We're going to explore how this period gives animals incredible adaptability, sort of an evolutionary superpower, you could say.
A bit counterintuitive, right? Vulnerability as strength.
Totally. So our mission is to figure out what's really going on. Okay, let's unpack this. So the core idea we found in the sources is that childhood isn't just about getting bigger.
Right. It's this key time for actually learning about your world, your specific environment.
And that learning gives them flexibility, which is a huge deal.
Yeah, it really is. Think about the alternative. Some animals are basically born with all their instructions, like hardwired in.
Like software that's pre-installed. Efficient, maybe, but super rigid.
Precisely. And what's fascinating here is the consequence of that rigidity. Migratory birds are a great example from the research.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, some species are, born knowing everything. How to migrate, when, where. It's all innate.
Built-in GPS.
Kind of. But the thing is, they often end up with really inefficient routes. Like surprisingly bad ones.
Huh. Inefficient how?
Routes that maybe made sense generations ago, but don't anymore. And crucially, they don't adapt easily when things change.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because the world does change.
Constantly.
So our sources mention things like, say, lakes drying up or forests becoming farmland.
Exactly. Or climate change pushing breeding grounds further north. These born-knowing birds, they just keep flying by the old rules.
They stick to the outdated maps in their head, even if the landscape is totally different.
That's it. They're locked in. It's a real problem in a changing world.
Wow. That really highlights the downside of being too hardwired.
It does. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, contrast that with birds that have longer childhoods.
Okay.
The research shows these birds, especially the ones that migrate with their parents.
So they learn the route.
They learn it. And guess what? They tend to have the most efficient migration routes.
Because they're getting updated information.
Essentially, yes. Childhood allows for passing on cultural information. Learned behavior, shared knowledge.
Like family traditions almost.
You could think of it that way. And here's the critical part. Culture can evolve much, much faster than genes.
Right. So learning and passing on knowledge lets them adapt quicker than waiting for genetic changes over generations.
Way quicker. It's like updating software versus waiting for entirely new hardware. Culture gives them agility.
So what does this all mean when we pull it together?
It means childhood is fundamentally an evolutionary strategy. It's not just downtime.
It's nature's way of building in flexibility, giving species a way to cope with a world that never stays the same.
That's a perfect way to put it. Flexibility in a changing world, that's the gift of childhood.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If this period of learning and flexibility is so vital in nature, what about us? Maybe valuing that kind of adaptability, that continuous learning, not just when we're kids, but like throughout life.
A kind of lifelong curiosity.
Yeah, maybe that's not just a nice philosophy, but actually key to navigating our own constantly changing world, something to mull over.